Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to episode 22 of Be With Me. We're in the book of 2 Corinthians. We're in the beginning of chapter 6. Paul's kind of going to go off on the people of Corinth today, and he's going to end up with a point saying, hey, our hearts are wide open for you guys, and your guys' hearts should be wide open for us. So he's going to make a long argument in that direction. But before he does, he talks about the day of salvation. This is one of my favorite verses in the New Testament. We've talked about it before for those of you who are with me. This is 6. I'm going to start with 1. Working together with him then, we appeal to you not to receive the grace of God in vain. For he says, in a favorable time I listened to you, and in a day of salvation I have helped you. So let me pause there. That's from Isaiah chapter 49. And the Lord is saying that in the day of salvation, in the day of your salvation, I'm going to help you. So something on that day, something is required of us, of the new believer. But it is an assisted help, and that is something is required of God, and that's obviously the heavy lifting, the heavy spiritual stuff goes on his side of the equation. So at the moment, or at the pointy end of spiritual conviction, you are going to need help. And he is going to do that. He is going to be there for you. So just remember that verse, or remember that verse as you see it and see other people reach that point end of spiritual condition. Okay, let me go back to the verse. This is 6:3 now. We put no obstacle in anyone's way, so that no fault may be found with our ministry. But as servants of God, we commend ourselves in every way by great endurance, in afflictions, in hardships, and calamities. Now, pay attention to everybody. 21 of these things. These are ways that he is commending himself to the Corinthians. Verse 5 continues, beatings, imprisonments, riots, labors, sleeplessness, hunger, by purity, knowledge, patience, kindness, of spirit, genuine love, by truthful speech and the power of God, with weapons of righteousness for the right hand and for the left, through honor and dishonor, through slander and praise. We are treated as impostors, yet are true, as unknown, and yet well known, as dying, and behold, we live, as punished, and not yet killed, as sorrowful, yet always rejoicing, as poor, yet making many rich, as having nothing, yet possessing everything. We have spoken freely to you, Corinthians. Our heart is wide open. You are not restricted by us, but you are restricted in your own affections. In return, speak to us as children. Widen your hearts also. So think about what's required as a minister. He's going to commend himself as a minister to the Corinthians, and he is going to endorse himself. That is, he's going to give qualifications, and by my casual count, there's 23 of them: afflictions, hardship, sleeplessness, hunger, some of the things that are very, very difficult. And for most people, they would be considered as condemnations or evidences that their ministries were ineffective. And Paul is saying exactly the opposite. These things that some would say disqualify us from ministry are the things that commend us. So he says we are not killed, yet, and we are rejoicing. We are poor, we don't have money, but we're the ones that we're making many rich, and we have nothing, but we have everything. So you are not getting sort of the super apostle that he's going to talk about here in another chapter or so. You're not getting that good-looking, outward appearance super apostle with a profitable, slick and easy ministry and everything's fine. You're getting a real apostle. You're getting a real servant. You're getting a real teacher. You're getting one that has real risks and real joy, and his heart ends up being wide open for you. It's really wide open for you. And so the final point here is that he does condemn hey guys, our hearts are wide open towards you, and it's a marker for us. For those in the family of God, are our hearts open for them? Are our hearts open for those to whom it is the day of salvation? So our hearts are wide open to you, Corinthians, Mr. and Mrs. Corinthians, and your heart should be unrestricted, but they are restricted in affection. So today I think the teaching point is about what point you want to bear on your chest is, how are you doing with your affection? Is your heart wide open for the apostles' teaching, for the Bible, I suppose you could say? But I'm talking more very practical and real life teachers, servants, for those that labor among you. And if you don't have affection for them, let's pray, Lord, may you give us affection for the people of God and the pastors of God and those who lead us. Thanks for listening.